The alarm blared through the USS Horizon's corridors as Lieutenant Jake Sullivan ran toward the emergency site. A distress call had come from a damaged Zalari cargo ship caught in an asteroid field. Both humans and aliens were working together to save the trapped crew. Jake moved quickly through the narrow passages of the alien vessel. His security team followed close behind. The air smelled strange, like burnt metal and something sweet he couldn't name. The gravity was lighter here than on his ship, making each step feel bouncy. 3 survivors in the engine room, his communicator buzzed. It was Commander Ryan Bishop's voice. Get them out fast, the reactor's unstable. Jake reached the engine room door. It was jammed shut. He and his team used their tools to force it open. Inside, 3 blue-skinned Zalari crew members huddled in a corner. Their large black eyes were wide with fear. We're here to help, Jake said, holding out his hand. The universal translator on his belt converted his words into the clicking sounds of the Zalari language. The aliens nodded. Jake helped the first one stand. That's when everything went wrong. The ship suddenly lurched to one side. A support beam broke free from the ceiling. Jake pushed the Zalari crew member out of the way just as the heavy metal crashed down on his left leg. The pain was instant and overwhelming. Jake heard the sickening crack of bone. He fell to the ground, screaming. His leg was twisted at an impossible angle. White bone stuck out through his torn uniform. "Lieutenant," one of his team members shouted. Jake tried to stay conscious. Through blurry vision, he saw his team working fast. They lifted the beam off his leg and quickly wrapped the wound to stop the bleeding. "Get him to the Zalari medical station," someone said. "It's closer than our ship." Jake felt himself being lifted onto a stretcher. The world spun around him. Every movement sent waves of agony through his body. He bit his lip to keep from screaming again. The next thing he knew, he was in a bright white room. Strange equipment beeped and hummed around him. 2 Zalari doctors stood over him, their blue faces showing concern. "I am Dr. Crix," said the taller one. His voice came through the translator as calm and professional. "This is Dr. Valara, my assistant. We will help you." Jake tried to nod, but the pain made it hard to move. He looked down at his leg. It was still badly broken, the bone visible through his torn flesh. Dr. Crix turned to a wall screen showing Jake's medical scans. The alien's 4-fingered hand traced the image of the broken bone. "Severe compound fracture of the tibia and fibula," he said to Dr. Valara. "We must operate immediately." "The human's vital signs are stable," Dr. Valara replied, checking a monitor. "But this injury, in my experience, such damage takes months to heal, even with our best treatments." Jake listened to them talk. He knew they were trying to help, but he also knew something they didn't. Human bodies had changed a lot in recent years. Medical nanotechnology had made their healing abilities much stronger than before. "Don't worry about me," Jake managed to say through gritted teeth. "I'll be fine." The doctors looked at him with confusion. They clearly thought he was delirious from the pain. "Please rest," Dr. Crix said gently. "We will prepare for surgery." As the alien doctors moved around the room, gathering their tools and discussing the procedure, Jake felt the familiar tingling sensation in his leg. The nanobots in his bloodstream were already working, starting the healing process. He wondered how the aliens would react when they saw what happened next. They had no idea what human bodies could do now. This was going to be interesting. The pain was still there, but Jake could feel his bones beginning to shift back into place. The greatest light show in medical history was about to begin, and these alien doctors had front-row seats. Dr. Crix adjusted the medical scanner over Jake's broken leg. The machine made a soft humming sound as it created detailed images of the injury. Dr. Valara stood nearby, preparing surgical tools on a silver tray. "Strange," Dr. Crix muttered, his black eyes narrowing as he studied the screen. "The bone fragments, they appear to be moving." Dr. Valara stepped closer to look. "That's impossible. Must be a scanner malfunction." Jake lay still on the medical bed, trying not to smile. He could feel the nanobots working inside his leg. The tingling sensation was getting stronger. The pain was already less than before. "Run the scan again," Dr. Cricks ordered. The machine hummed once more. This time, both doctors leaned forward, their blue faces showing complete shock. "The bones," Dr. Vallara whispered. "They're realigning themselves." On the screen, they could see Jake's broken bones slowly moving back into their proper positions. The jagged edges were smoothing out. New bone tissue was forming at an incredible speed. "This cannot be real," Dr. Crick said. He touched the screen as if to make sure it wasn't lying to them. "In all my years of medicine, across hundreds of species, I have never seen anything like this." Jake decided it was time to speak up. "It's the medical nanobots," he explained. His voice was stronger now that the pain was fading. "Standard treatment for human military personnel." The two alien doctors turned to stare at him. Their large black eyes were wide with amazement. "Nanobots?" Dr. Vallara asked. "You mean microscopic machines?" Jake nodded. "They're in my bloodstream. They activate when there's an injury. They can repair bone, muscle, and tissue damage much faster than natural healing." Dr. Cricks quickly pressed a button on the wall. "Medical team to examination. Room 3. Emergency research gathering. This is unprecedented." Within minutes, the room filled with more Zalari medical staff. They crowded around the scanner screen, watching in disbelief as Jake's leg continued to heal before their eyes. "Look at the cellular activity," one doctor said, pointing at the screen. "The osteoblasts are multiplying at 50 times the normal rate. The soft tissue is regenerating too," another added. "The wound is closing from the inside out." Dr. Cricks turned to Jake. "May we continue monitoring this process? This could revolutionize medical science across the galaxy." Jake smiled. "Of course. I'm happy to help." The doctors began taking detailed notes and recordings. They measured everything: bone density, cell growth rate, blood flow, nerve regeneration. Their excitement grew with each passing minute. "The fracture line is almost invisible now," Dr. Vallara announced after 30 minutes. "At this rate, complete healing will occur within the hour." "An hour?" a young Zalari doctor exclaimed. "This type of injury would take our species 6 months to heal, even with our best treatments." Dr. Cricks was running multiple scans simultaneously now. "The precision is remarkable. The nanobots aren't just healing randomly. They're following the exact biological blueprint of the original bone structure." Jake flexed his toes experimentally. He could already feel strength returning to his leg. "The newer models of nanobots can even strengthen the healed area," he explained. "Makes it harder to break the same bone twice." The room buzzed with excited conversation. The Zalari doctors were talking rapidly in their clicking language, sharing theories and observations. "We must document everything," Dr. Cricks declared. "This could change how we approach trauma medicine entirely." He turned to Jake. "Are all humans capable of this?" "Not naturally," Jake replied, "but most of us in the space service have nanobot enhancements. It's become pretty standard in the last decade." Dr. Vallara was still watching the screen in wonder. "To think we assumed humans were physically average compared to other species. We were so wrong." The broken bone was now completely healed. The wound in Jake's leg had closed, leaving only a faint pink line where the injury had been. The entire process had taken less than 45 minutes. "Remarkable," Dr. Cricks said softly. "Absolutely remarkable." The medical room had become a laboratory. More equipment had been brought in, and the number of alien doctors had grown to 12. They were all studying Jake like he was the most interesting thing in the universe. Dr. Cricks stood at the main console, running test after test. His four-fingered hands moved quickly over the controls. "The bone density is now stronger than before the break," he announced. "This defies all known medical science." Jake sat up on the medical bed, testing his leg. It felt completely normal, as if the injury had never happened. "Can I stand up?" he asked. Dr. Vallara looked uncertain. "The scans show complete healing, but perhaps you should wait." Jake swung his legs over the side of the bed and stood up. The alien doctors gasped. He took a few steps, then did a small jump. His leg was perfect. "Impossible," whispered a young Zalari doctor. Simply impossible. Dr. Crix approached Jake with a handheld scanner. May I take some blood samples? We need to understand how these nanobots work. Sure, Jake agreed. He held out his arm. As Dr. Valara drew the blood, she asked, Do these nanobots have any limits? Can they heal everything? They have limits, Jake explained. They can't regrow lost limbs or organs. They work best with bones, muscles, and skin, and they need energy from our bodies to function. The blood sample went under a powerful microscope. The alien doctors crowded around the screen, watching the nanobots move through Jake's blood. Look at them, Dr. Crick said in awe. They're so small yet so complex. Each one seems to know exactly what to do. They communicate with each other, Jake added. They work as a team to fix injuries. The technology is based on how our own cells naturally heal, just much faster. A senior Zalari doctor with silver markings on his blue skin stepped forward. I am Dr. Zeven, head of the Galactic Medical Council. This technology could save millions of lives across the galaxy. Would humans be willing to share it? Jake thought for a moment. That's not my decision to make, but I know our governments have been looking for ways to strengthen our alliance with other species. Dr. Zeven nodded. We must arrange a formal meeting. This is too important to ignore. Meanwhile, Dr. Valara was running more tests on Jake's healed leg. The muscle tissue shows no sign of trauma. The nerves are functioning perfectly. It's as if the injury never happened. That's the goal, Jake said. The nanobots don't just patch things up. They restore everything to its original condition, sometimes even better. Dr. Crix was still studying the blood sample. I see different types of nanobots. Do they have different functions? Jake nodded. Yes, some repair bone. Others work on soft tissue. There are specialized ones for fighting infection, managing pain, and monitoring vital signs. Fascinating, Dr. Crick said. They're like a microscopic medical team living in your bloodstream. Exactly, Jake confirmed. They're always on duty, ready to respond to any injury. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The Zalari doctors looked at each other, realizing they were witnessing a medical revolution. We've underestimated humans, Dr. Zeven said quietly. We thought your species was remarkable for your courage and adaptability. But this changes everything. Dr. Crix turned to his colleagues. We need to contact every major medical institution in the galaxy. They need to know about this. Jake watched the excitement build among the alien doctors. He remembered how amazed he had been when he first learned about the nanobot technology. Now he was seeing that same wonder in the eyes of these advanced alien physicians. There's something else you should know, Jake said. The technology is still improving. Each new generation of nanobots is more advanced than the last. The alien doctors exchanged glances. If this was just the beginning, what would human medical technology achieve in the future? We have much to learn from each other, Dr. Crick said finally. This is a historic day for interspecies medical cooperation. The door to the medical room slid open, and Dr. Lisa Martinez walked in. She was the USS Horizon's chief medical officer, and she had been alerted about Jake's situation. Her dark hair was tied back, and her brown eyes quickly scanned the room, full of alien doctors. Lieutenant Sullivan, she said, moving to Jake's side. How are you feeling? Perfect, Doctor, Jake replied with a smile. The nanobots did their job. Dr. Martinez turned to the Zalari doctors. I'm Dr. Lisa Martinez. I understand you've witnessed our medical technology in action. Dr. Crick stepped forward. Indeed. It's beyond anything we've ever seen. Your lieutenant's bones healed in less than an hour. Lisa nodded. The human body has always been resilient. We just found ways to make it better. She pulled out a small device from her medical bag. May I run my own scans? Of course, Dr. Crick said, stepping aside. Lisa ran her scanner over Jake's leg. Excellent. The nanobots have already gone back to standby mode. Energy levels are normal. She looked at the alien doctors. Would you like me to explain more about our technology? The room erupted in eager agreement. Lisa connected her device to the main screen. Human healing has always been remarkable compared to many species, she began. We can survive injuries that would kill others. Our bones naturally mend, our skin closes wounds, our organs can often repair themselves. She brought up a diagram on the screen. These nanobots don't replace our natural healing. They enhance it. They work with our body systems, not against them. Dr. Valara raised her hand. But how do they know what to do? The precision we observed was incredible. Each nanobot contains a copy of the patient's DNA, Lisa explained. They use this as a blueprint. They know exactly how each part of the body should look and function. What about rejection? Dr. Zevin asked. Don't human bodies attack foreign objects? Lisa smiled. That was a challenge. The nanobots are coated with proteins that match the patient's own cells. The immune system recognizes them as friendly. Jake stood up and walked around to demonstrate his recovery. They also help with other things. They can filter toxins, fight infections, even help regulate body temperature in extreme environments. Dr. Crix was taking careful notes. Are there any negative effects? Surely such powerful technology must have drawbacks. There are some limitations, Lisa admitted. The nanobots need regular updates and maintenance. They require energy from the body, so patients need to eat more during healing. And they can't fix everything. Such as, Dr. Valara asked, genetic disorders, certain types of brain damage, advanced diseases, Lisa listed. They're tools for physical repair, not miracle workers. Dr. Zevin looked thoughtful. Still, the applications are staggering. Battlefield medicine, emergency response, deep space exploration. Exactly, Lisa agreed. That's why all our space personnel have them. Space is dangerous. We needed better ways to keep our people alive. Jake flexed his healed leg again. Before nanobots, an injury like mine would have meant months of recovery. Now I can return to duty tomorrow. The alien doctors murmured among themselves. Their own healing technology was advanced, but nothing like this. Dr. Martinez, Dr. Crix said formally, would you be willing to stay and share more information? We have so many questions. Lisa looked at Jake, who nodded. I'd be happy to. This kind of knowledge exchange is exactly what we need for better cooperation between our species. Dr. Zevin stepped forward. I'll contact the Galactic Medical Council immediately. We need to arrange proper diplomatic channels for technology sharing. As the alien doctors began making plans, Jake sat back and watched. His broken leg had started something much bigger than a medical case. It was becoming a bridge between species, built on the remarkable adaptability of the human body and the endless curiosity of science. One broken leg, Jake said quietly to Lisa, and now we're changing galactic medicine. Lisa smiled. That's humans for you. We never do anything the simple way. The medical room had transformed into a classroom. Dr. Lisa Martinez stood at the center, surrounded by alien doctors who hung on her every word. Jake sat nearby, still amazed at how his injury had sparked such interest. The development of medical nanobots wasn't easy, Lisa explained. It took decades of research and many failures before we got it right. Dr. Crix leaned forward. What inspired your species to create such technology? Lisa smiled. Necessity. Humans have always pushed boundaries. We explore dangerous places, take risks others won't. We needed ways to survive our own ambitions. But surely, Dr. Valara interjected, other species have similar drives. Why did humans succeed where others haven't? Our history shaped us, Lisa replied. On Earth, we faced countless challenges. Diseases, wars, natural disasters. Each crisis pushed us to innovate. We learned that sometimes to survive, you have to change the rules. Jake nodded. That's the human way. If something seems impossible, we find a way to make it possible. Dr. Zevin was studying his notes. Your medical advances seem to reflect your species' character. Bold, adaptable, unwilling to accept limitations. Exactly, Lisa agreed. But we also learn from others. That's why this exchange is so valuable. Dr. Crix stood up. Speaking of exchange, we have medical technologies that might interest you. Our regenerative serums, for instance, can regrow certain organs. Lisa's eyes lit up. Organ regeneration, that's something our nanobots can't do yet. Perhaps we could combine our technologies, Dr. Vallara suggested. Your nanobots with our regenerative compounds could create something extraordinary. The room buzzed with excitement. Jake watched as human and alien doctors began sharing ideas, drawing diagrams and planning experiments. This is what space exploration is really about, Jake said to Dr. Martinez. Not just finding new worlds, but finding new friends, new knowledge. Lisa nodded. Agreed. We're stronger together. Dr. Cricks approached them. We'd like to propose a formal partnership, a joint research facility where our scientists can work together. I'll need to contact Earth Command, Lisa said, but I'm sure they'll be interested. Dr. Zevin added, the Galactic Medical Council will fully support this initiative. This could be the beginning of a new era in medicine. As the discussions continued, Jake noticed something remarkable. The initial shock and disbelief had transformed into genuine collaboration. Human and Zalari doctors were working as equals, each bringing unique knowledge to the table. You know, Jake said to Lisa, when I broke my leg, I thought it was the worst luck. Now look what it started. Lisa laughed. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the best outcomes. Dr. Vallara joined them. Lieutenant Sullivan, would you be willing to participate in more studies? Your case could help us understand human physiology better. Of course, Jake agreed. Anything to help. The doors opened again, and several more Zalari officials entered, including what appeared to be government representatives. The news was spreading fast. This discovery has implications beyond medicine, one official said. It shows that humans are more than military allies. You're pioneers in science and technology. Dr. Cricks addressed the room. Today, we learned that humans aren't just brave explorers. They're innovators who push the boundaries of what's possible. Lisa stepped forward. And we learned that the Zalari aren't just skilled doctors. You're visionaries willing to embrace new ideas. The room filled with a sense of possibility. Different species, different technologies, different approaches to medicine, all coming together. I propose we establish the first interspecies medical research center, Dr. Zevin announced. A place where all species can share knowledge and advance together. The proposal was met with unanimous approval. Jake and Lisa exchanged glances. A broken leg had started a revolution in galactic medicine. As the meeting continued, plans were made, agreements were drafted, and the foundation was laid for a new chapter in interspecies cooperation. The human ability to heal had opened doors to healing relationships between species. Commander Ryan Bishop strode into the medical facility, his tall frame filling the doorway. His blue eyes quickly found Jake among the crowd of alien doctors. The commander's expression shifted from concern to surprise as he saw his lieutenant walking around normally. Sullivan, Ryan called out. I heard you were seriously injured, but you look completely healed, sir, Jake finished, demonstrating by doing a quick squat. The nanobots worked perfectly. Ryan turned to survey the room full of excited alien doctors. What's going on here? This looks like more than a medical checkup. Dr. Crick stepped forward. Commander Bishop, we've witnessed something extraordinary. Your lieutenant's healing capabilities have opened our eyes to possibilities we never imagined. Lisa moved to Ryan's side. Sir, the Zalari want to establish a joint medical research facility. This could be huge for human-alien relations. Ryan's eyebrows rose. All this from a broken leg? It's more than that, Commander, Dr. Zevin explained. We've discovered that human medical technology surpasses anything in the known galaxy. This discovery could revolutionize healthcare for billions of beings. Ryan listened carefully as the doctors explained what had happened. His expression grew more serious with each detail. I need to report this to Earth Command immediately, Ryan said. This is beyond my authority to approve, but I can tell you they'll be very interested. Dr. Vallara approached with a datapad. We've prepared a preliminary report. It includes all our findings and proposals for collaboration. Ryan accepted the pad and scrolled through it. Impressive work. You've been thorough. Commander, Doctor, Crick said, may I ask something? Why haven't humans shared this technology before? It could have saved countless lives across the galaxy. Ryan considered the question. Honestly, we didn't realize how unique it was. To us, it's just standard medical equipment. We assumed other advanced species had similar or better technology. That's what makes this moment so important, Lisa added. We're learning that humans have something valuable to offer the galactic community beyond military support. Jake watched the conversation unfold. He remembered his grandfather telling stories about first contact with aliens, how humans were seen as newcomers, almost primitive compared to other spacefaring species. Now they were being viewed as medical pioneers. There's something else to consider, Ryan said thoughtfully. This technology represents a significant strategic advantage. Earth Command will want guarantees about how it's used and protected. Dr. Zevin nodded. Of course, we propose strict protocols and joint oversight. This technology is too important to be misused. What about military applications? A Zellari official asked. Soldiers who heal this quickly would be nearly unstoppable. The room fell silent. This was the concern everyone had been avoiding. Ryan's voice was firm. That's exactly why we need careful agreements. This technology was developed to save lives, not to create super soldiers. Agreed, Dr. Crick said quickly. Medical applications, only. We have no interest in weaponizing this discovery. Lisa stepped forward. We could establish an ethics committee with representatives from all participating species. Every research project would need approval. The tension in the room eased. Jake felt proud of how his species was handling this moment. Power brought responsibility, and humans were showing they understood that. I'll arrange a meeting with Earth Command, Ryan decided. Dr. Martinez, prepare a full report. Include everything, the technology, the proposals, and the safeguards. As the meeting began to wind down, Dr. Vallara approached Jake. Lieutenant, you've changed history today. How does that feel? Jake thought about it. Strange, I just came here to rescue some people. Now we're talking about changing medicine across the galaxy. That's often how great changes begin, Dr. Vallara smiled. With one unexpected moment, Ryan put his hand on Jake's shoulder. Good work, Lieutenant. Your broken leg might have just brought our species closer together. As they prepared to leave, Jake looked back at the alien doctors. They were still discussing, planning, dreaming of possibilities. His injury had become a bridge between worlds. 3 days later, a shuttle arrived from Earth carrying Dr. Sarah Johnson, humanity's chief xenobiologist. She was a small woman with gray-streaked hair and sharp green eyes that missed nothing. Her reputation preceded her. She had been instrumental in developing the nanobot technology. The Zellari had prepared their finest conference room for her arrival. Jake and Lisa were there to greet her, along with the entire Zellari medical team. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Crick said, bowing slightly. It's an honor to meet the mind behind this remarkable technology, Sarah smiled warmly. The honor is mine. I've read your reports. Your observations about the nanobots are incredibly insightful. She turned to Jake. And you must be the famous Lieutenant Sullivan. How's the leg? Perfect, ma'am, Jake replied. Thanks to your work. Our work, Sarah corrected. Thousands of scientists contributed to this technology. She looked around the room. And now it seems we have the chance to contribute even more. Dr. Zevin stepped forward. Dr. Johnson, we've prepared a presentation on our regenerative technologies. We believe combining our knowledge could lead to breakthrough treatments. Excellent, Sarah said. But first, I'd like to address something important. She activated a holographic display. Images of various species appeared, many showing signs of illness or injury. Last year alone, Sarah began, over 12 million beings died from treatable conditions across the galaxy. Different species, different planets, but all suffering from things we could prevent or cure. The room was silent as her words sank in. Humans developed nanobots out of necessity, she continued. But keeping this technology to ourselves would be selfish. Medical knowledge should serve all life, not just one species. Dr. Valara's eyes glistened with emotion. That's a beautiful philosophy. Sarah nodded. Earth Command has authorized me to share our complete nanobot research with the Galactic Medical Council. No restrictions, no conditions. Gasps of surprise filled the room. Even Jake and Lisa looked shocked. But, Sarah added, we have one request. We want this to be a true partnership. Every species contributing what they can, sharing freely, working together. Dr. Crick stood up. The Zalari accept. We'll share all our regenerative research. Other alien representatives in the room quickly voiced their agreement. Within minutes, promises were made to share technologies that had been closely guarded for generations. There's more, Sarah said. She brought up new images, designs for medical facilities. We propose building research stations in neutral space, places where scientists from all species can work side by side. Dr. Zevin studied the plans. This is ambitious. It would require unprecedented cooperation. Yes, Sarah agreed. But look what we've already achieved in just a few days. Imagine what we could do in years. Jake watched as the energy in the room shifted. Fear and suspicion were replaced by excitement and hope. Sarah had transformed a moment of discovery into a movement for galactic unity. I've brought something else, Sarah announced. She opened a case containing vials of silvery liquid. The latest generation of nanobots. They're programmed to work with any carbon-based life form. Dr. Valara approached cautiously. You're giving us active nanobots? For research and testing, Sarah confirmed. We trust you. That simple statement, we trust you, seemed to break down the last barriers. The Zalari doctors gathered around, examining the vials with reverence. Dr. Crix turned to Sarah. Humans continue to surprise us. First with your resilience, then your technology, and now with your generosity. It's not generosity, Sarah replied. It's recognition that we're all in this together. The health of one species affects all species. Lisa whispered to Jake. She's brilliant. In one meeting, she's done more for human-alien relations than years of diplomacy. Jake nodded. His broken leg hadn't just healed. It had opened a door to a future where species worked together, shared knowledge, and cared for each other's well-being. The meeting continued late into the night, filled with plans, dreams, and the beginning of something extraordinary. 6 months later, Jake stood on the observation deck of the newly built Unity Medical Station. The massive space facility floated in neutral territory, its white walls gleaming against the backdrop of stars. Ships from dozens of species docked at its ports, bringing scientists, doctors, and patients from across the galaxy. Hard to believe this all started with your broken leg, Lisa said, joining him at the window. Jake smiled. I've been thinking about that. Sometimes the smallest accidents lead to the biggest changes. Below them, through transparent floors, they could see laboratories where humans and aliens worked side by side. In one room, Zalari doctors were teaching humans about organ regeneration. In another, human scientists demonstrated nanobot programming to a group of fascinated alien researchers. Dr. Crix approached them, his blue skin now familiar and friendly. Lieutenant Sullivan, Dr. Martinez, we have news. The first combined treatment was successful. The cancer patient? Lisa asked eagerly. Dr. Crix nodded. The nanobots delivered our regenerative compounds directly to the damaged cells. Complete recovery in 3 days. It would have been terminal without this collaboration. Jake felt a surge of pride. His injury hadn't just built bridges between species. It was saving lives across the galaxy. There's more, Dr. Crix continued. The Galactic Council has officially recognized humans as medical innovators of the galaxy. They want to establish medical exchange programs with Earth. Commander Ryan Bishop joined them carrying a datapad. I just received word from Earth Command. They're promoting you, Sullivan. You'll be the liaison officer for the new Interspecies Medical Corps. Me? Jake was stunned. But I'm not a doctor. No, Ryan smiled. But you're the human who showed the galaxy what we're capable of. You're the perfect bridge between our military and medical branches. Dr. Sarah Johnson entered the observation deck, followed by Dr. Zevin and other council members. We have an announcement, she said, her eyes twinkling. The first class of mixed species medical students will begin training next month. Humans, learning from aliens, aliens learning from humans. The group gathered around as Sarah activated a holographic display. It showed a galaxy map with points of light spreading outward from their location. Each light represents a new medical facility using combined technology, Sarah explained. In 6 months, we've reduced preventable deaths by 30% in participating systems. Dr. Valara added, and we've discovered that human adaptability isn't just physical. Your species' willingness to share and cooperate has inspired others to do the same. Jake watched the lights multiply on the map. Each one represented lives. Saved, suffering prevented, hope restored. You know what's really amazing, Lisa said softly. We always thought our strength was in our weapons or our courage, but our real power was in our ability to heal and our willingness to help others. Dr. Zevin raised his hand for attention. On behalf of the Galactic Medical Council, I declare this day to be remembered as the beginning of the Universal Health Alliance. May we always remember that it began with one human's broken bone and humanity's unbroken spirit of generosity. Applause filled the observation deck. Jake looked around at the mixed group of humans and aliens, all united by a common purpose. His accident had revealed something profound about humanity. Not just their remarkable ability to heal, but their even more remarkable desire to help others heal. What's next? Jake asked Sarah. She smiled. The galaxy is full of suffering that we can now address together. Diseases to cure, injuries to heal, lives to save. This is just the beginning. As Jake looked out at the stars, he realized that humanity had found its true place in the galaxy. Not as warriors or conquerors, but as healers and teachers. His broken leg had healed more than just bone. It had healed the divide between species and opened a new chapter in galactic history. The future was bright, and it was built on the foundation of shared knowledge, mutual trust, and the simple truth that every life, regardless of species, was worth saving.